Devils 1, who lost their game to FaZe earlier today on this exact map. Let's hope history doesn't repeat itself as we get into things, Harry.
Yeah, and already you can see those odds on the screen, brought to you by the wonderful folks over at Betway. And they're going to be edging this one in favor of NiP as well. Now, early on, PlayMF going to take that info play up into the halls here at B. Does spot Dennis, at least initially. Bit of presence being shown down in Ivy from the Ninjas side. Now they start to leave B, setting up Dennis over here towards the Pop Dog. There is Mertz down in this portion of the map, so you've got to be a bit careful. With all this utility over on the NiP side, this does suggest the A play. Get right, going to be lining up. Is Smoke and Electro lining up another one. Going to fall down at Con and one for Ivy by the looks of things. They go in now. Oh, yeah, right. Not keen on that. Going to flash himself into the Pop Dog. Down it goes, and that does force Mertz out into the open. If he can manage anything here, that would have been a good job in and of itself. He does not. So Bomb now looking to go down for NiP. They're sitting 4-on-2 up in the post plant. Things looking good, but Freiburg looking to try and throw some chaos into the ranks.
Oh, he's found one and spamming away with the USP. Dennis repositions and Rez hides within the site. They're just playing off of contact now rather than giving him the gunfights that he wants. PlayMF has closed the distance. Double peek from the T side and now Freiburg alone on the site. Great shot to Rez. Great shot to Get Right as well, but surely Dennis is going to be able to hide behind the corner. Deny Freiburg the room. 3 kills, make it a 4th, and Freiburg has won the round. How on earth has he done that?
Yes, so no love for an IP from Freiburg. You know, not keen on giving his old org the pistol round there as he snatches it away from them with a 4K. A 1v3 made to look almost too easy for Freiburg.
Yeah, that's one that NiP are going to be kicking themselves over. Could have had a strong start to this map, but now it all thrown up into the air. We've still got 3 AKs in the second round. Let go and Get Right. It took one for the team to drop these guns over, so this is a damn good buy for NiP. If anything, you know, almost as good as that of Heroic, who are only running one actual rifle here, if you don't include the Scout. And NiP, it's got to surprise Heroic with this one. They do, the only rifle being removed straight away. Forrest gets that kill now. They can go and try and retrieve that AUG out of Ivy. It is in the hands of the CTs here, but Heroic try and get aggressive elsewhere. They've got T-Con. Smoke deep in main and a flash to allow Blame to get aggressive. That AUG is retrieved by Mertz. But still, 5-on-4 for NiP. And a minute left for them to come up with a game plan.
Yeah, I mean, this is where if you're Heroic, right, you're kind of sweating under the collar a bit because you know there's going to be a lot of rifles on this NiP side of things.
Look at Get Right.
Oh, no. He's always so good at this. He is behind enemy lines. He's living behind enemy lines. Look at that little number 0 on the minimap. He's on an adventure.
He's in their spawn right now, and NiP, they're wrapping to be here. They've thrown all their utility over the A site. Still with one smoke to get down the ramp, but not before Get Right shows his face. 30 seconds, he needs to find a kill, but no one's presenting themselves. Finally, he gets 2 bits of info. That's massive. And he even hears a third in connector as well. Get Right has just made this round a reality. As long as he can hit his shots. Creeping on through, gets spotted, top of the train, missed shots, but can his teammates trade and make up for it? Double entry from the T side. Forrest follows up towards the connector, and it is done. It's just S-Tag on the back line, but he does have one.
Yeah, both these players pretty low. The bomb goes down. Rez able to hold the ramp, so the big lurk from Get Right never leads to anything. But even him pulling the attention away for just that split second allowed NiP to entry down through the ramp. Great shots, especially from Forrest, to deal with that man over in connector. Things could have gotten very dicey had those engagements gone the other way, but now NiP snatching around back. And they've been pretty good at doing that, right? You know, not finding success in the pistol and then stealing around away in the second.
I mean, it was Get Right to win the force buy for NiP back on Nuke when he crept down the ramp flank in the B post plant. So not the first time he's lurked to a victory for these ninjas. However, in this round, they're a man down. Gun dropped by NiP, just by Olaf, so If they give up control, we could see BlameF sneak in and try and grab it. He wants to do so already, dropping. Forest hears the footsteps and doesn't let him get away. Trade is there. Mertz keeps it alive and in the advantage of Heroic, but still unarmed, under-equipped are Heroic in this round.
Still a 3-on-3. This doesn't feel out of the realms of possibility for the Heroic side. Mertz trying to creep forward. Spots get right. He's going to take a shot back in response. Able to get away with the AK at least. And now he can look to maybe juggle that onto Freiberg or Stout. But instead, he's going to stick around, and he does decapitate Get Right on that peek in. Creeping forward, Letcro not ready for the re-peek from Mertz, and now it is just Forest 1v3. So back and forth. They know where he is, and just 14 points of health. He's at the full mercy of these pistols on the other side of things. Forest versus Freiberg on the other side of this smoke. Forest seems wary that there could be a player nearby. And with this crossfire set up, even if he deals with Freiberg, it's still a tricky task. Now, the re-peek isn't immediate on behalf of Stout. Instead, going to wait for the bomb plant to come in, and Forest is just not ready for the sheer pace of that. Defuse is found, and it's trading rounds initially here. Back and forth we go. 2-1 lead now for Heroic.
About as close as you get, Harry. A CZ player winning the 1v1 for Heroic to keep this in their hands. They may have lost the force buy, or the conversion rather, to NiP, but they get their second round on the board regardless. And some rifles as well bought up off the back of it. No longer want to be limited to these SMGs and pistols that allowed NiP to get their round on the board. But Harry, we're not done here just yet. We've got another force buy for the Ninjas. They want to keep things as close as they come. It's a solo AK, though, with pistols around it. I like this call from NiP. You can still win this round, for sure, but it's going to require Dennis to really go off, and that Molotov prevents his early peek up on T-Con early on. Freiberg pushes down Ivy with a molly of his own and a smoke to cut off this line of sight, making it blindingly clear that he's in this position, but he's not allowing NiP to take the control. Dennis gets naded, and that's not a good way to start off the round for the solo rifle. Even finished off through the smoke goes another player, but BlameF with 2.
Trying to get the AK back, and they do manage to get it into the hands of Get Right at least. He does have armor behind it. Now Freiberg still down here towards Ivy. Isn't going to go much further than this with just the MP5 by his side. We'll have Forest walking his way. Ooh, there we go. Freiberg mops up Forest, and now this leaves just Get Right and Letcro standing. They do have armor at least, so they can look to juggle this AK around, but you really are hoping for a lot if this is going to lead to anything here. Freiberg clearing out Ivy, gets so much information from this. He's very much whittling down the angles they know that the last 2 players for NiP can be at, and now we should see this rotation into the B-bomb site any second now. It's down holding. They peek on into him. Get Right manages that at least, but will they be ready for Mertz? No, they are not. So 3-1 start, but a bite back on the cards for NiP here heading into round number 5.
For all except Dennis, of course, with that one solo AK in the previous round, but he can still get a pistol around this one. And given the nature of train and the angles it usually approach, it's fairly easy for NiP, if they lose an opening duel, to just give that gun over to Dennis, or for him to retrieve it off of a body. No AWP still here for Mertz. He's yet to build up that bank. Heroic have, had a back and forth start, but now finally controlling the CT side. Freiberg running through his own Molotov. He is fully blind as well, taking a lot of damage, and they're just going to rush him down, knowing he's caught and knowing he's trapped, and nowhere to go, nowhere to hide. Get Right with 2. NiP, massive opening kills into this round. Ladder climb attempted upon the reload, and oh my god, S-Tag finds them both. Dennis not there to trade, and now this round is still winnable for Heroic.
Oh no, Get Right gonna slow walk that smoke. BlameF just posted up on the other side, and yeah, the balls of S-Tag to go for that ladder peak. Yields some results here for Heroic, standing poised to find a 4th round. Slowly but surely, Forest creeping out from Ivy. Trying to clear CT. Rez holding for the sandwich peak. Neither player really finding all too much here. And it's the wraparound from Forest that really has to try and find some results. Down is slowly but surely closing this gap onto Rez, but Rez going to land the 180. Forest in the meantime, and how has that even happened? NiP able to recover that round.
I think it was impatience, or knowing that that flashbang came into main. He should have had a blinded player. The flash, I don't know what happened to it. It must have missed going down Olor. Forest wasn't blind. Oh, sorry, yeah, whoever was in main wasn't blind there and still got the 180 off. That is definitely not going to plan for Heroic. And NiP, I mean, at one point it seemed like they had that round in the bag with a double entry on Ivy. Then it looks like it's lost, and then Forest comes in with a get-right tier lurk to save the day. It's so close, so back and forth, as is this money. Broken once again for Heroic, and NiP looking to keep this pace high. Fast fight out towards the A site. Dennis catches a lurk on the backline, but he won't be ready for one more, who will drops down, gets that kill and upgrades to the AK. But two players watching his pop peak. He won't get much further, but the bomb.
Mertz has got it in his control now. The only issue is for him, while he's, maybe able to get one player as they try and double back for the bomb, the second he makes his presence known, the penny will drop. And you're hoping for big things from Mertz here. They start to consider the possibility, or what if he's wrapped up through the Ivy position, and you can see now grouping up along with Forest. And get right, we'll have to turn back to grab this bomb.
Oh, he's got to get on top soon. They're going to get away from him, Harry.
There we go. He's slowly ascending. He's slowly ascending into the crosshair of Forest at NiP. A third round. Mertz mastering the art of levitation.
That's a nifty little angle there. I didn't know you could climb up on that. It's like a Dust 2 ramp box, if you know what I mean. You can kind of slide up to the left, so you got a headshot angle to short. Takes some time, but he gets up into position. Only gets taken down straight after. 3-3, NiP now up against Pistols for the Heroic camp. This should be a fourth round, Harry. I know we've had some force buy wins, but this would be a bit too far.
Yeah, they're just going to try and rush B by the looks of things. And, well, now that they hear these players down in Pop Dog, it won't matter. It's going to be all 5 inside of the A-bomb site for NiP, and 5 players are going to come in on the late wrap down through Pop Dog. So either we get right mowing down 5 laddery boys, or
they don't go ladder.
Yeah, they walk right by him. So no clip today.
And of course, Forest has not left T-spawn this entire round. He has got the off angle, and they're not going to be watching the left side here. He finds one, but eventually the burst takes him down. I would have loved to see him let them pass before spraying them down. Get right, spots one on the top of the ladder. Does definitely not want to go up there, give away an AK. And it's Freiberg, of all people. Don't want to give his ex-teammate the satisfaction. Although Blame F has moved in. They could double drop into Pop. Would be a risky one, but doesn't matter now. Get right's left that position. S-Tag trying to do damage. Force these players to go down with the bomb. But not any dinks coming out, and too far away are NiP. They'll keep the round in their favor. 4-3 now on the T side. And money back in the hands of Heroic.
Yeah, still not an all in hands of Heroic, though. Not enough money for Mertz.
That is the CT side economy in and of itself, Harry. Plus these force buys going back and forth, and no team, wrapping together 3 rounds in a row. It doesn't exactly give you a lot of cash.
Oh, no armor on Blame. Maybe a bit of an error on his part.
He won the eco. He was a saving rifle from the previous round, and when you win an eco, you sometimes forget to buy up armor. I'm sure he's realized now, though, looking at his HP after getting burned by that Molotov. And it's too late to go back. That buy time's only 20 seconds.
Yeah, so let's see if that plays into this round in any way, shape, or form. He will be holding over towards Made, so not really going to get to see him tested just yet. Although Rez does lie in wait on the other side. Passive hold from NiP. They know that Heroic have been pretty keen on taking this aggression eventually. But this round we won't get to see any of that as everyone holds their ground on the CT side of things right now. NiP starting to set up for this Ivy play. The bomb's starting to rotate round. Electro going to try and challenge for Pop Dog. And then you've got Rez to burst out from main, should you need him. Still with the option to wrap CT to B as well. Although as that clock ticks on down, the likelihood of that coming through really does tick away. Good opener. Oh, Freiberg, quick double. He takes down both Forest and Get Right.
Oh,
Trade will be found courtesy of Dennis, and now we see Blame, the man with no armor, up here on top of the blue train, trying to go blow for blow with these players in Pop and Con, and Rez will behead him. Oh, going to follow up, and Stow not able to push past it, will get burnt out of Pop Dog. The bomb's getting planted, and Mertz able to pick up Dennis, now thrusts Rez into the clutch. Won't be ready for this Pop Dog peak, and Stown's going to find him as a result.
I don't know. I feel like he knew that Stown was in Pop Dog, right? He surely heard the flames tick away and take some damage down in that position, but apparently not. I guess if he did, he probably would have smoked it off rather than close train, because it would have at least isolated one player. But yeah, Freiberg, great shots from him, really opening up this round for Heroic. Kills 2 on Ivy, dinks Dennis as well, or at least does a lot of damage to him. Close as ever, Harry. 4-4, and finally, 8 rounds deep, we have the first buy round with both AWPs. In fact, the first buy round with an AWP for Mertz. So that just shows how this game's been going. Let's see if we get Forest versus Mertz on those AWPs at all into this one. Forest outside those B halls, same story for Mertz. Inside, now dead. Forest catches him aggressively so, peeking heaven. Now he might just have the burst into B. Forest going first with the AWP. Big balls on this man, and he won't go down. It's Rez to get dropped with Letgo with the trade. Molotov towards the connector will cut out the backline push. Talking of backline push, S-Tag's doing exactly that, but he's got Dennis in hot pursuit.
Yeah, they were hoping that fast flank would have been enough to quell this B bomb site play, but not ready for the late wrap from Dennis. So this will just be Heroic ducking out of this round, trying desperately to hold on to these weapons. The issue they're going to have is Dennis is still hunting. Now Freiberg is able to deal with the point man. Get Right still looking to try and snatch some of these weapons away if he can. He's in danger of getting caught by Freiberg as he makes some noise. It is going to be telegraphed, but Freiberg still dropped. Blame able to get away at the very least.
The reason that's smart is Get Right starts running when the bomb makes noise, and you can't actually hear the footsteps as clearly, or maybe at all. I don't even know if Freiberg would have heard that. I think it's more likely than not he didn't. So Get Right sneaks until the bomb explodes, giving him the audio shield, the invisibility cloak. Taking down one of those 2 saving players and keeping Heroic's economy on the rocks as it is. Pistols once again with a solo AUG saved. This time with armor. Dennis even holding for the pop peak, and he's going to be giving it. Freiberg offers himself up nice and early on. Now Dennis has to clear the close right angle here because S-Tag sits inside with a USP. Not the most dangerous at close range, especially not when the rest of NiP are flooding out onto the bomb site. Mertz, great shot. Blame F's going to follow up. This cannot afford to go the way of Heroic. NiP need to collapse this round, and they shall. Just Stown left up. For a second, it looked like a possibility for Heroic with 2 opening kills, but surely Stown can't close this out with just a picked up AUG.
Yeah, he's been able to snatch the AUG away, though, from this A-bomb site. It's given him something to try and answer back with, at the very least. Now that bomb looking to go down, and Letcro should get away with it. And so now the pressure is on Stown. He's got to try and make a move if he is going to go for this. The buy is still coming up in the next round, so he can afford to throw himself into this retake. The issue is Rez wrapping round close. He's just not ready for it. So 6th round banked for the NiP side of things over here on their T side of train. Already a phenomenal T side, and there's still more rounds yet to be played. Mertz going to have to question, does he want to get the AWP glass cannon here? And he will.
Yeah, util damage not being too much of a factor here for Heroic. But take into account, a lot of these rounds have not been, rounds that they've had Molotovs and HE grenades. It's been a lot of force buys, which obviously does limit your ability to get util damage. And NiP on the slight pause as well.
I'm really liking the pace we're seeing set from this NiP squad though, right? You'll note the second they're able to find a kill anywhere on the map, they're so quick just to go forcing their way into a bomb set on the back of it. And so often is that catching Heroic off guard, right? You think about their T-side over on Nuke, and even CT side in a lot of the retakes. It was the hesitation from Heroic that cost them a lot of those rounds. Right?
It wasn't even, I wouldn't even say it was like hesitation that cost them the rounds. They were trying to slow down for mid-round plays, but NiP didn't want to slow down. So they would stop in a 3-on-3 and try and hold, and NiP would just collapse onto them. So very aggressive and reactive Counter-Strike from NiP. As Chad said, you know, they do just play their own game and hit their shots, and that's exactly what we're seeing right now on this T side.
Triple ramp hold over here at B. Certainly not conventional, and it will blindside Lecro.
Rush
Thing
A.
is, yeah, I mean, he gets the info that there's 3 players at this B bomb site. You know the A side now is taking quite the hit in terms of numbers. Rez able to get in close, and he spots the man up in heaven there. The unknown factor right now is Freiburg, but Rez working his way up close, and they have got no clue that Rez is so deep. He's on to 3, and he's opened up the A bomb site. The issue they're going to have now is Forest trapped in this duel with S-Tag. Rez is doing everything, though. He's on 4. You might not even need Forest. NiP with a 7th round, and just been individuals stepping up left and right on this NiP squad.
The second that player died on ramp, Rez was out Olaf. I was watching the map. The second he called it, Rez was deep Olaf, gets himself in sandwich, and as you can see, I mean, as you said, no one expected him. So deep behind enemy lines, and NiP, right as you say it, Harry, the second they get info, or a pick, or anything really, it gives them the excuse to just fast play a bomb site, and they'll win it. 7 rounds now on the T side. Second tactical pause, back-to-back rounds, tactical pauses. Does NiP clearly want to have a chat? Work out what's maybe not going up to standard, but 7 rounds on the T side versus the 4 of Heroic. Hey, you know, numbers are numbers, but they're certainly painting a pretty picture for NiP so far.
I mean, but once again, you know, you just constantly on the back foot in terms of the economy if you are Heroic, right? Being over on the CT side, it can be unforgiving at the best of times, right? And they haven't really been having the best of times. Nades find a lot of damage early on here. The issue is Forest just immediately able to almost cancel that out. Now, they do dispatch of Lecro on his push into this bomb site, but the issue is Forest following up, somehow gets a triple.
What is going on here?
You know, has the AWP, but just takes the fights with the PT-50, of course, and this leaves Freiburg and Stown to try and do the impossible. Nades enough to get rid of Freiburg, and yeah, 1 by 1 they're dealt with. NiP onto an 8th round, and it is a very dominant T side right now.
We could have a stellar season ahead of us for NiP, at least in this group stage, right? I mean, if they continue playing like this, I can't wait for the NiP phase game, frankly. That is going to be a bag of laughs, or that's not even a saying, nor will it be entertaining in the laughing way, but it'll be a great game, I think, Harry. Right now, Heroic, you know, unable to quell this T side of NiP. They've got another buy, Harry. It's been a long time coming. AWB here. NiP charging into the B site. They wait for no one. They give no room for Heroic to set up on this CT side. They're already past the smoke. Get Right's wrapping Stown, who gets shot from both sides. Lecro gets the kill. Get Right's in CT spawn.
Yep, and Heroic, they're like, well, this is probably not a round for us. I think we can just leave, you know? We could just give this one to NiP. They seem pretty hungry for that B-bomb site, given that they're on it within the first 20 seconds of the round. And what could you even do against that pace? Heroic, they try and have the switch up, right? They try and stack 4 players over towards A early. And before they can even begin their plans, it's already been disrupted, already been upset. And that can always feel like the worst if you're Heroic, right? You go into that round with a very clear understanding of what you want to do. You have all your ideas. Everyone's on the same page. And NiP just sort of erase whatever your well-laid plans were. And at least they are able to keep these 4 players up. If you're looking for silver linings, it's that.
But 9-4, Harry. The linings are looking more like bronze right now, because Heroic, I mean, they're coming 3rd place in this game. I don't even know how. This is unfortunate, but great game from NiP. I mean, they're really catching these CTs off guard now. We do have another buy. Of course, I've saved 4 guns. We'll enable that, and Stown gets dropped over an AUG from Mertz. So Let's see if Heroic can run their own game here. Electro doesn't have a gun. Not sure what that's about. Maybe he'll go back and change that. No, he's just dropped into Pop Dog with a pistol. Interesting. Fast towards the yard here for NiP. Rez is going to be able to get himself an entry, but the AWP keeps us alive for Mert. Yeah.
My goodness, that was... I did not even realize Mert's got that kill. It was so fast. Forest gonna go blow for blow with Mertz now. We get to see the clash of the Titans. AWP on AWP. Stalemate, a standoff here. Forest gonna elect to use the P250 while Dennis is all the way over here towards B. Gonna wait for this wrap to come through. Forest is putting a lot of stake in how much Dennis is able to get done here, though. Forest is very much trapped. Olaf, you can see, though, Heroic, they haven't seen him in a while. They're starting to consider the possibility that maybe he got away. Maybe he got out of this Olaf position. And they're doubting themselves here, are Heroic. They never spotted him leave. But they think, why would someone just sit in Olaf the whole round? That's ridiculous. And, well, here's Forest, Exhibit A. And Dennis on this wrap, I mean, it's still happening. It's still going. You know, you've probably forgotten about it. I certainly did, but he's all the way in CT spawn now. Mertz has no idea, but the barrel won't betray him, at least not yet.
Oh
no.
That will. Yeah, free gun for Dennis as well. He's got double AWP and Stown. He rotated towards B with the lack of information on that A site. Heroic decided to split up. They cannot catch a break here. Stown's got to find a 1v2 clutch, and he has been incredibly quiet in this best of three. I think the bottom performer. Not what we expected of his debut, but if he could pull out this clutch and save the half for Heroic with a couple more rounds, maybe it could make up for it. Dennis is on the angle. Stown's found the shot. Forrest is full HP here, and he has no idea where this last man sits. Smoke on the bomb, but the bomb's already half ticked. Forrest, not forced out, not going for the fight. Finally hits a shot, does get a tag onto Stown, but he'll just jump on the bomb. Fake, Molotov out, and Stown wins the fight. 1v2 clutch for the young gun here on Heroic, and he does save the round after all. And I don't want to read into things too much because we don't know. Lecro didn't have a gun, but coincidentally, he was also the first person to drop in the Pop Dog below one of his teammates. I imagine that that was on purpose for NiP. I just don't know why, given the fact that we're on the second last round of the half and they had enough money anyway. But, you know, knowing that maybe he would just die immediately, or alternatively, they get the pick and he gets a free gun. So I guess that's the logic there, but who knows?
Yeah, maybe that one is a little above our pay grade.
Yeah.
And this might just be the fast A play for NiP. Actually, they slow things down, at least initially. Ooh. Rez. Toying with the idea of taking this peek. Gonna wait for the flashes and smokes to rain in from Forest and Lecro. And yeah, this is just gonna be the A-side burst. The smoke falls for the cross. One at Ivy, one at Connector. Sandwich smoke rains in. That's going to get thrown from Heroic, and that does delay this push. Get right, somewhat lost in these smokes now. Mertz, top the train, gets beheaded by Rez, continuing his great form as he carves a path into this A bomb site. Blame and Rez face to face, and Blame able to win it out. Still standing firm inside of this A bomb site. Freiburg now able to help out a 2v2. As slowly but surely, Heroic have carved their way back into this round. It's Lecro to try and clutch, and Blame with 3 massive kills. A 6th round for Heroic at the end of this first half. At NiP, things were looking good for them in that site take there, but it all falls apart. Get right, looking a little bit mystified as to how that one eludes them, but it will be Heroic salvaging a 6-9 half. Only issue they're going to have is that was over on the CT side of things. The T side coming up next. Can they keep the good times rolling, or are NiP going to take this in a 2-0 fashion? Find out after the break.
walk away, walk on, baby. Walk away, walk away, walk on, baby. Walk away, walk away, walk on, baby. Walk away, walk away, walk on, baby. Walk on, baby. Pinch me and you make believe we're dreaming. Sinful hands are folded at your knees. Baby, don't you go and stand so close to me. You stand so close to me. 'Cause honey, I can't help but give the most to me. Give the most to me. Walk away, walk away, walk on, baby. 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 Walk on, baby.
No rail replacement buses today. These trains are always on time when NiP seem to be at the helm. They're sitting 9-6 up right now after a very convincing T-side. Hugo moving into the second half. They move on to the more favored side of their map pick. They're looking to try and take this series 2-0, although something tells me Blame F and the gang might have something to say about that.
Yeah, exactly. You know, pulling things back at the end of the half, as they did over on Nuke. If you remember, it was a dominant start, 8-1, ended 10-5. And similar story here, 9-6 for NiP. Still damn good on the T side, though. And Heroic, they haven't played this map officially yet, but let's hope they've got some secret strats up the back sleeve as we head into things. Rez already dealt with a triple pop push. He was not ready for the pace. These Ts are out on the bomb site in full stride. Get right, smoked off, but he's spamming anyway. Forest has got to win this duel or this round. Might just be done in the 3-on-5. They won't give him the opportunity, but Freiburg comes from above and takes him down. This is now going to make things very difficult for NiP.
Ooh, nice shot from Dennis. Has lended them a 3v4, but yeah, still the man advantage sitting in favor of Heroic, and they're just waiting. They're playing off the bomb. All four players hiding, no one giving up a fight anywhere. So NiP have to go hunting for it. Lecro going to spot both the players on the E-box, but there's just not enough time here for NiP. They try and collapse into the bomb site, and they take shots to the dome. Heroic now 7-9 up, and a chance to get back into things here over on the T side.
Yeah, a 9-6 with pistol on the you know, this team with 6 rounds is perfect. You've now made this game somewhat a reality. Obviously, still being on the T side, it's a long way. It's a difficult half, but the fact that Heroic haven't played this map makes me think that they've done a lot of prep coming into this and are ready to pour a full comeback versus NiP. I believe in it personally, but let's see.
Triple scout here from NiP, not something you see every day. And that's something you imagine Heroic are going to be prepared for. The issue is if this just culminates on the inner hit, you know, these scouts aren't really going to come in all too handy. You do have Lecro and Dennis both here with these scouts, though, and that's going to feel like an AWP as you run into it. They can chain them together. Damage done on a Freiburg. Dennis going to hop on down from the oil train. And these scouts are finding a lot of damage, just softening up these full-bought players to facilitate this this retake with the pistols. This nade is going to further the damage even more. That brings Stavin down to the one-shot realm of these scouts now as well. Forest up close with the Deeg, manages 2, looking for the 3rd, but Stound's able to trade. And it's the AWPs of Lecro and Dennis to try and see this round through. Just Stound left to try and overcome. Time ticking away. Dennis making noise on the bomb train, but he's going to land the shot required. And that's where that bit of nade damage, the little tickle onto Stown that got thrown in a little earlier on in the round, comes back to punish them. That was courtesy of Get Right. So NiP, once again, stealing a round back. The pistol round might go the way of Heroic, but the force buy in the second goes the way of NiP.
Not the first time we've seen that one, Harry, I've got to say. And what a round from NiP. I love the idea. Get a lot of scouts, get a lot of utility that does damage, and then just hope Heroic hit B. And if they do, you know how useful those nades can be to double stack onto bomb site, to catch players coming out ramp in heaven. And of course, with the scout, you're so mobile as well, far more than that of the AWP. Heroic, desperate times call for desperate measures, and S-Tag will try and answer the call. Fast out Olaf here with the AK, the only AK. Scout up on Mertz, trying to do what NiP could. S-Tag, ooh, creepy, creepy. He might be able to catch Get Right off. He's been played like a fiddle. And S-Tag, already an opening kill, will now stifle NiP. Stuck within the bomb site is Rez. Forest will defend out of main, but S-Tag's found himself another entry with that AK, and these pistols are coming up clutch as well for Heroic. 2 players left for NiP, trying to salvage this round. Dennis will win his duel, but the Mag 7's on Lecro. That's not the gun you want for this kind of engagement, and he's even been tagged as well. Dennis is wrapping back Ivy, but Freiburg seems aware.
Yeah, the few footsteps he's making, signaling the presence of this last man. Freiburg holding for it, patient as ever. Heroic steal around back, and it's trade for trade once again. Tit for tat here in the second half. And similarly to how the first half played out, it's going to be a force buy back from NiP this time around. Being over on the CT side, right, you don't get that little comfortable cushion of losing of gaining the loss bonus from losing the pistol around, the extra $500. So, you know, they want to try and get all they can here. It will be eco into the next anyway. And I mean, you know, we've seen these force buys work for both teams. So
Yeah.
you very much understand why they're bringing it out here.
That being said, 4 rifles for Heroic in this round. I mean, there is no excuse to not win this versus such a weak force buy of NiP. They had to go for it, really, because they couldn't buy up in the follow-up round with no loss bonus, as you say. But it's not exactly instilling belief, rather, in this buy for NiP. They've taken some map control. Rez has pushed T-Con, but already a man down in this round. Forest spams to try and trade it back, but you're asking for a miracle there. Heroic setting utility into the B site as well to try and draw this rotation. It at least peels Dennis back towards a spawn, but he won't rotate because no T's are out on the site just yet. A split for Heroic seems to be the game plan here.
Yeah, the double stack in main does mean that if S-Tag continues moving forward here, he runs the risk of going down. 3 players on the other side. This bait and switch looking to be employed from the NiP side of things. Now the timing could just get the better of them. That nade has certainly got the attention of NiP once again, but a great entry from S-Tag and Stoud. And yeah, this should just be Heroic tying things up 9-9 as S-Tag lays down the pain.
Great awareness from Heroic though, right? They take a default. The only position they give up in the map is T-Con, and they assume that, okay, right, we've not seen anything down Ivy, we've not seen anything through Pop. They've got to be in T-Con. It's an eco after all. And even better to see them throw in the nade first, which disrupts the positions of NiP and makes them move out of their spots. Meaning that flashbang is even more deadly because they're, you know, caught out in transition. Nice little ideas here from Heroic Art, clinching them another round 9 on this T side as they sit just 1 behind that of NiP. This will be the closing gap though. No buy at all from the Ninjas. And Heroic, a decent chance to be able to draw things up, maybe even take the lead in the follow-up, assuming NiP don't bounce back with their own buy round. Oh, what's this? I like this. Forest and his teammate, Dennis, on top of the head of a man below, on the ladder. This creates a very weird angle for the T's to check. Pretty edgy setup, if you ask me, Harry.
Yeah, but let's see if it finds them anything, right? Forest afforded this little angle to shoot through.
Oh. Yeah, that didn't work.
Yeah, it didn't really pan out how he would have liked. So 10 to 10, all tied up. Heroic able to find that round. They keep 4 players alive. They keep it pretty clean, concise, pretty much everything you would like. And now they've got some cash they can reinvest. S-Tag. You know, they could even bring the AWP out here, and they will. Mert's going to upgrade onto that. Curious if S-Tag buys a rifle, or if he just keeps that drop scout, whether we'll see the slight bonus round attempt here from the Heroic side.
And here's the Draken effect. So far this series, we've seen Letcro, Dennis, and GetRight on the Forest rather, on the AWP. Letcro being the latest addition to that. Glass Cannon in this round, and he is going to be needed to fire off like one. Great shot through the smoke. Freiburg caught moving back into T-Con, but look at Mertz behind enemy lines. They may have 2 kills to the favor of NiP, but they certainly won't expect this position. Missed shot. Dennis has no idea, and the trade isn't there. Mertz is still alive and kicking, and kick he shall down the door of NiP. 2 kills off the AWP. Forest runs into the spawn. Mertz eventually gets killed on the A site, but Stown has a very winnable 1-on-2 here.
Yeah, and he's been very, very good in these clutch situations for Heroic. He's going to try and hit the B bomb site, drops this smoke. So that will keep Letcro at bay. He's even going to spot him back towards Connector, trying to rally these shots through. That's a dangerous game Stoud's playing. He will be afforded the bomb plant at the very least, and if Letcro and Rez aren't careful about how they time this, they could give him 2 1v1s. He'll spot the player out on the rafters, not able to convert that to a kill, and Rez there to mop him up. So the 1v2 is attempted, the bomb goes down, but NiP able to find the round.
And Rez, 3 kills, a fantastic round from him in, you know, a very, very messy situation where Heroic got far too much map control considering NiP's, you know, early picks. They had a 5-on-3 with T-Con control, and then suddenly you realize Mertz is killing you from the bomb site. Rez is the man to take him down and secure the round. 22 kills on him and Forest together. Letcro and GetRight, not even 10 kills each. So Forest and Rez certainly making up for these you know, lesser performances from some of the typical fraggers for NiP. 11-10, they keep the lead for now. Stown, quick smoke to deny the Molotov, and he's going to try and push out with it. Flashes over the top as well. Won't commit to the Olaf play. In the meantime, Heroic hit B, but the AWP draws their attention, and Dennis should be able to finish off the job. There's the bomb drop. Can't get any more, but 4-on-3 rather. This is good for NiP.
Oh, Rez. He's heard that he might have just caught a timing. Stown sticks around and holds his own. Nade going to be enough to finish off Freiburg. So now it's Mertz and Stown thrown into the hot seat at 2v3, but there's Mertz with the first. Forest in with the trade, and Stown's pulled it back to the 1v1. It's doable. Letcro already here. Stown going to reposition.
Oh no, he doesn't know.
That Molotov has given up where he is, so now Letcro with this smoke doesn't have a kit. It would be the full 10-second defuse unless there's one around for him to grab. He's looked for one and he's found it. Smoke going to fall onto the bomb. Stown making noise at the ramp. There's a gap in that smoke, but Letcro, what was that? Is there enough time? It's down to the wire, but it's going to be a 12th round for NiP. Letcro, you are incredibly fast.
We're going to need a replay of that.
We do need a replay of that. Cue it up, cue it up.
Oh my sweet lord, Harry. That is unreal. He wasn't even looking at him. Oh. Very quick. Didn't even catch it. I mean, that is an incredible clutch from Letcro, considering as well, Stown could have killed him while he was throwing a molly. Letcro was on upper there when Stown threw his own Molotov on the bomb. If he peeked any wider, he gets that kill on Letcro, and that round is done. He didn't know Letcro was in the upper rafters with the AWP.
And this is good, right? NiP, you took a look at the scoreboard as we came into this round, and we saw, you know, it was Rez and Forest having great performances, everyone else falling a bit quiet. And the worrying thing about that is, you know, being over on the CT side, it's harder to rely on your individuals to have these big step-up performances, right? You can't just throw Forest or Rez into a bomb site anymore and tell them to go kill like you could over on the T side of things. So it's good that we're starting to see Letcro, you know, find his footing a bit more, starting to build this confidence up with the AWP in hand, because we needed that third cannon to step up inside of the NiP squad.
3 kills in that round, you know, off the AWP as well, so starting to find his confidence, his groove, and that only spells troubling times for Heroic. On the back foot here. Economy on the edge, and GetRight's already chasing these kills, trying to remove the clutch Stown from his position, but instead he gets away with it. Flash to keep GetRight back, and he'll just fall off. In the meantime, Heroic set up outside of B, but only one player here to stop them. Letcro with one. Fully Flash gets traded out by Freiburg. And that bomb going down. 4-on-4 retake. Lots of smokes up for Heroic. NiP fully grouping throughout the spawn, and the retake is on.
Yeah, now players trying to go aggressive for Heroic, trying to secure this this inner foothold. S-Tag graces the scoreboard with a frag onto Get Right. And now these aggressive players looking to pay dividends. Freiburg not quite able to deal with Rez, but his presence here has now been telegraphed. Time's already too far ticked though, and NiP have to give this round up, so Heroic will answer back with their 11th round there, the fast B hit. Catching NiP off guard, you notice. Oh, Freiburg, that's a very...
juicy.
Yeah. But, yeah, I mean, you note there, just the sheer pace of that round, you could tell really caught NiP off guard, right? They actually went with a 5-man setup over towards A initially. There wasn't even the anchor inside of B.
And that's exactly what NiP did to Heroic at a similar juncture in the previous half, right? After a couple of pauses, after some back and forth, NiP just hit with a fast B play as soon as Heroic get guns. Same story, and it breaks NiP's money here and now. They've got a force buy on Dennis and Lekro, who did go down in the previous round. Fast A play again. Heroic, they wait for no one. Blame's already out. He's in Olaf. Valuable position. We've got this boost up, and I think it's been spotted by Forest. Mertz is trained on the angle. Flashbangs there. Leg to Mertz. Forest getting on top of that engagement. Trying to catch more as well. Needs to reposition above the train, and he finishes off what he started. Mertz dead. Blame F's got to try and get this trade. And he's been given an opportunity, but Forest spots him out. Drop shot to Blame. And NiP a 5-on-3.
And now you really need these Ivy players, Stout and Freiburg, to try and find something. And the issue is they're not being given an opportunity to. Forest is on a tear. 3 kills. Get Right able to drop the last man down at Ivy. And now it is just Freiburg thrown into the clutch. Dennis pushed up in through main, even being able to retrieve the AWP from Mertz's dead body. Will get spotted and almost dealt with by Freiburg. The issue is, this has rang the dinner bell. NiP now know his whereabouts, so you can see Get Right aggressing in through Ivy. He's hunting Freiburg down. Actually will hold his ground for the time being. They don't want to give Freiburg away back into this if they don't have to, and there's Forest of 4. So what do you even have to say about that?
28 kills on Forest right now, Harry, and we're not even done yet. We're not even in overtime. This is still the second half. What a performance he's having. And it's broken the money of Heroic. That was off the back of NiP having 2 pistol players as well. We needed someone to step up, and Forest gave us that performance. Heroic now on a pause. And do remember, for those at home, Heroic don't have their coach here. You can notice a lack of coach behind them standing right now. This leaves them in a bit of a problem, a bit of a situation rather. They don't have Peacemaker to consult with. Leaves it all up to the players and their experience.
Yeah, this is where you're going to be looking towards someone like Freiburg, right? Someone who is the more tenured player to try and offer up some solutions alongside the likes of Blame F, right? So you want to try and get as much value you can out of him. I think they're all going to go upper.
Yeah,
yeah. We've heard that from the I was going to say the horse's mouth, but it's Freiburg's mouth.
In English though. That surprises me. I know Freiburg's Swedish, but I assumed that he spoke Danish, or at least enough. When I asked him like a year ago when he joined this team if they were speaking in English, and he said yes, but I think they had like Modi there.
Ooh, well, weird. Fast speed play all upper as Freiburg requested. Let's see if this works. They've picked the mind of Freiburg, and it might yield some results. The big brain play was just to rush B upper, as it turns out. The bomb is now down. Get Right and Forest thrown into the 2-on-3, but as these two have shown time and time again, they are so good.
Whoa.
In these 2vx scenarios, their years of experience playing together really do shine through. So let's see if they're able to roll it back to that. The nades raid in and find a bit of chip damage onto the likes of S-Tag. Get Right clearing close, plucks the first man from the ranks and able to deal with S-Tag as well. Freiburg, there's the first man. Not quite able to land. Get Right, and that will be the defuse just in the nick of time. Try as Freiburg might. A 14th round for NiP.
A respectable call, though, from Heroic on that eco round. I mean, they get a bomb plant and 4 kills. That's certainly not what they would have wanted given the post plant, but some great shots hit by Get Right. Saves the day there, removes the AWP and the man on the bomb as well. 14 rounds to NiP, 2 away from this victory. And this would be a 2-0 as well in the series. They took away Heroic's map pick straight off the bat of Nuke. Mertz has no armor on his AWP. Forest is now donning that weapon once again, and it's Get Right to hold down this Ivy push. Double peek, he'll get one, but Stown gets a double. They line up for him. Not sure how that happened. He's just going to dive down Ivy.
And just this standoff between Stown and Dennis. Who breaks first? We could be in for a long one. This is the equivalent of a staring match in Counter-Strike. It's got to give some time. He's got more patience.
The thing is, Heroic are just waiting because they know they can get a pick off the back of this. If someone repositions for NiP, Heroic have a 4-on-2. But NiP are not budging, they're not shifting, and Lekro moving in through the spawn could be the right timing depending on whether this barrel sticks out for Stown. It shouldn't. He's got his back against the wall. But he can also get blindsided from the sidelines if Lekro continues to push. He won't. He goes back towards B, and that's where the bomb is too.
Oh, what? Peek from Stown.
Oh.
Not great, but Dennis going to miss his opportunity there to deal with the man at Ivy. As they spot that, this push looks to come in toward B. That Molotov going to hold them back and buys precious time for this rotation from Dennis to come through. Now it's Lekro holding to try and do the bulk of the work. He loses Dennis. But Lekro up close, up personal. Freiburg wrapping round, and he is able to deal with him. So Rez on this fast wrap in from behind has to try and blindside Freiburg. He'll spot Stown, but Stown at the longer range with the AWP, able to win that pretty convincingly so. And a 12-14 scoreline now.
And despite Stown getting spotted and losing 80 health to Dennis, who was just holding down the Ivy like an absolute turret, Heroic still get it done off the back of Stown's 3K. Someone who was, Harry, in the first half, he had 6 kills. He's now on 20. What a recovery. Second on the team right now is the young gun for Heroic. And tactical pause coming out as well. So it's a mix of English and Danish. That's interesting.
I like to think that Freiburg is just doing this only for our benefit, to keep us in the loop.
He wants to kill Get Right. That's what he said. He wants to go Ivy. And so let's see if Heroic do commit to that initial plan. Now, the money isn't great for NiP. This is certainly not a done deal just yet.
Well, they were looking to try and find Get Right down in Ivy. He's not there. Instead, we'll be playing down towards the old hell position, at least right now. Now, this is the force buy from NiP, so if they lose this, they've got to eco in the follow-up, and that will give Heroic a means of tying this up 14-14, and then at that point, I mean, yeah, to say it's anyone's game feels like a bit of a cop-out. B-play being telegraphed early on, but doesn't necessarily have to come through, right? You've still got Stown throwing these smokes in toward A. Minute and 4 seconds left, so plenty of time for Heroic to change their mind, but it will just be the B commitment. Lekro and Forest here to try and hold them back, and Forest baiting his teammate, trying to make a play happen on the back of it, and he might. He certainly might. They line up for him, but S-Tag is able to quell Forest inside the bomb site, and this leaves Dennis in a 1-on-3. Deegan-handed, a lot to do. Desperately hoping that someone peeks into his crosshair, but no one's offering themselves up. Blade does get spotted, so he knows there's a man close. S-Tag already with his sights homed in on the oiled barrels, though should be enough to solidify this, and indeed he will. A 13th round for Heroic, and now a 14th, you imagine, coming up in this round on the back of this eco from NiP. And this game is going the distance.
It definitely seems that way. Heroic, I like the call on the B site as well. They get box halls control. They throw a lot of utility over A. 2 smokes to fake that out. Not only does it keep NiP there, but also Heroic don't flash into B. They just walk down ramp with 3 players. And although Forest gets a lot of damage off on a couple of kills, Heroic just trade their way to the bomb site. The lack of flashbangs and smoke into the B site didn't telegraph the play, so NiP weren't necessarily all ready for that push. That's a gamble. Of course, you can just get mowed down by flat rifles who aren't blind, but that wasn't the case for Heroic. Now it is just flat pistols, NiP. Someone's let the air out of their wheels, and they've grinded to a halt here. Sat on 14 rounds for the last few. Heroic, as you said just last round, Harry, this is their means to getting 14, to closing this game up, bringing us to very, very close situation. Forest on the Deeg. 30 kills right now. Might get flashed in, but there's no utility, so he's just going to go and dry. He loses the gunfight to Blame F on the right angle, and now Heroic 5 on 3. Plenty of room to just go for their execute. NiP going to stay grouped so they can try and trade.
I mean, this is where, you know, you're really seeing the plight that is just Forest and Resby, the only two players to really step up for NiP, coming back to haunt them in this CT half. Gonna be the A play, Dennis. Letcro, uh-oh. 35 seconds left. Mertz has dealt with the point man. Letcro falls, and now it is only Get Right remaining. He's hidden, he's tucked away for the time being. He's going to let them cross, try and sneak in late to try and find something, and he might be able to deny the bomb plant. Noise made, and Mertz going to land a flick. 14-14, we're all tied up here in the closing segments of regulation. But all the pressure now, make no mistake about it, is on the Swedes, right? They've got a buy here at the very least. They're able to scrape one together. It's rifles across the board. One kit on Get Right, that's all they've got. And if they lose this, then they're force buying for overtime. So this becomes a must-win round now for NiP. And Heroic know that the Swedes are going to be feeling the pressure here. Blame F is already down through Pop Dog. Rez is going to hear all these footsteps, and it's become very apparent. Oh no, how's this happened? Mertz able to trade one back. This was looking so good for Heroic. It looked like they had the read. A missed shot from Mertz at a critical moment. He's able to wallbang Get Right for a bit. Freiburg does delete his ex-teammate, but he's been brought down low in the process. Just Letcro and Dennis remain here for NiP, but they're sitting pretty with 174 points of health between them. Just 22 left for Heroic.
Oh, there's a leg. Letcro's seen it. He can't get the angle. He needs to move to his right, but doesn't want to move into the crosshairs of Mertz, who's posted down on Stopper from T-Con. NiP, the key here is don't move. You're a statue. You've got the bomb. You know Heroic are low. They're the ones who have to take these fights. If NiP move, they can walk into this line of sight set up by Mertz. Flashbang, though, might prohibit some kind of peek. It does force Mertz off the angle, allowing Dennis to close the distance. Not scared of the Pop Dog just yet, but the more time that passes, the more that Heroic could have wrapped and could be in the backline. NiP seemed to be aware, but now going to start to have bit of self-doubt. This gives Freiburg the room to close as he sneaks his way into the site. No one yet to make noise. Dennis caught on an angle. Freiburg finds a shot. Low HP and Letcro gets a trade, but now the info's up. 20 seconds for Mertz to find this clutch, to pull Heroic to 15 rounds, or Letcro's going to be able to do it. He'll just back off. He'll just disengage. 10 seconds. Mertz is nowhere near the bomb. He's not going to be able to win it unless he goes now.
The only way he wins is if he kills Letcro, and Letcro peeking. A 15th for NiP, they dig deep. It comes down to the 2v2 and the 1v1 at the very end, but Letcro is able to hold his own versus the low HP Mertz on the other side of things. And now map and series point for NiP. Heroic, they've really worked hard to grind themselves back into this game, and it has been a grind, right?
Yeah.
They were 6-9 down. We saw them churn together this scoreline, and now at 14-14, where they were finally able to tie things up. They had the NiP economy at breaking point. The round eludes them. It was a big performance from Forest to catch the two players pushing out from Pop Dog.
I mean, they dealt with so much in this game. They dealt with these fast T rounds from NiP. They've dealt with multiple force buys being won from the Ninjas, even though Heroic took both pistols. And still they sit a round down up against a 2-0 loss here in the first game of this group stage for at least them.
At least bringing it down to the 1v1 has left NiP in a very dismal situation though, right? You look at that buy. That's not the buy you want into round number 30 if you are NiP. Heroic might just look to try and throw something fast into this round. They know the buy isn't going to be great. You need to see Dennis find something, and while he does get the first man, Blame F instantly in position to trade. Now leaves a 4-on-4, and that's going to favor Heroic.
Still a big kill though. Freiburg has been the sole round winner for Heroic in a lot of this T side, finding a lot of entries. So that 1-for-1 may seem favorable for the T side, but it could come back to hurt Heroic Rez and the Pop Dog waiting for the push. He can also flank very, very fast if need be, but doesn't want to give away this kill just yet. This is a dangerous fight. Heroic are just holding now, hoping NiP get aggressive in this 4-on-4, but other than taking T-Con, NiP have no interest in pushing the boundaries. The bomb's still outside the halls and will be joined by 2 more players. Heroic going for this B execute at the end of the round. 2-2 split for NiP per site. And as said, with this fast flank from Rez, it could make all the difference once Heroic take B.
Yeah, this is where the 2 rifles sit right now. They have to be wary of this CT wrap, though. They've left Ivy open, and this means Get Right's attention is very much divided from helping his teammate out inside of B. They're going to pivot round. Lecro holding the ramp. First man does get by, and that's down to a 3-on-3 now, but the B bomb site going the way of Heroic. They've almost bypassed Get Right.
He's heard it.
Oh, he might hear it, but he's still going to lose the fight. Overtime on the cards now, as it falls to Forest and Rez. The 2 top performers for NiP asked to try and clutch. Bombs planted wide, and that's over towards Oil Train. So that is post-plant for S-Tag here. Merds, gets shot first time around. Forest does delete him. And now the 2v2. The bomb out in the open. They tap on it to try and force these peaks, and S-Tag offers himself up. They're not quite able to find it, though, and Rez, there's no time anyway. He doesn't have the kit, and that will be overtime. Locked in, Heroic able to secure it. We're heading on through. We scrap those 30 rounds that just went down as we head on in to our first of potentially many OTs.
Yeah, and I bet Heroic are at least happy that they're no longer playing these pistol rounds, or at least the follow-ups to the pistol rounds. Now going into 16K MR3, all the money in the world for both these 2 teams. Obviously, those AWP investments will come back to hurt you on the CT side if you lose 2 rounds in a row and buy up too many orbs, but most of the time it shouldn't be a problem. So, NiP, let's see what they got for us. Get Right bringing in the Dak carry. We've got the auto sniper into round 1. I can't say I'm surprised. It's a classic on this map. He's playing Ivy with it as well. Heroic have sent 3 players into position, and Get Right, who's only sitting on 12 kills, having a bit of a rough map despite his phenomenal performance on Nuke. This is where he could have the most impact he's had all game.
Well, Get Right dodges the double nade. And they're setting up for what looks like just a fast Ivy play here. You've got Stown ready to move through it, but now they throw in all this utility, and now they elect to give it up. Response to this, NiP have taken main. That smoke falling will telegraph that to Heroic. This could just culminate in the B commitment here. That is been Heroic's go-to in times like this. You know, if you haven't found anything to open up the round.
NiP have got to know this is coming, though. I mean, they've got so much map control to work with. The issue is Stown's still selling this fake over on the A site. That will keep Get Right's attention trained on this position. 35 seconds. Re-smoke down on ramp. Not the right time for it. Heroic are going to go right on through. Lecro trying to hold the crossfire, but Dennis is held back, and his teammates already been picked apart. Both of them have on this B site. 3 players left up for NiP, and at this point, is it even worth going for?
I mean, they certainly seem to think not, right? You can see NiP somewhat positioning for the save here. They're going to take a look in. Forest bested by Freiburg outside of B, and yeah, now the save becomes all too apparent. They're even going to make note that Get Right has this auto sniper, and they might look to hunt him down, right? Money is no object for Heroic at this point in time. And the value of taking this gun away from Get Right's hands is monstrous. He's not keen on parting with the auto sniper, is Get Right.
Ooh. What do you even do against that? Crouch peek into a 1-tap. Well, still, they get the round, Harry. I'm sure they'll be happy with the 16th. Heroic taking the first of OT. This has been a game of T sides, believe it or not. 9 rounds apiece on these terrorist halves. Now make that 10, including overtime for Heroic. They take the lead, and NiP keep the Dak and buy up an AWP around it. Maybe looking to change their B setup here. That was absolutely crushed by just a few well-placed flashbangs. NiP had Heroic in a chokehold, but they still managed to kick their way out of it. With that re-smoke down on ramp, looking like he could have sealed the deal. Water utility out fast and early for Heroic. They're trying to get these mollies out of NiP's hands so they can go for the late round play. conditioning these CTs to think it is a quick execute. That couldn't be further from the truth. They spread out for default. Not even taking Pop Dog yet, but oh, hello. Must have learned that from Rush.
Yeah, certainly a variation of it, but
Hey, current pros.
finds a bit of chip damage onto Freiberg and BlameF. Heroic looking like they want to try and take control of Pop Dog and maybe go for the main split here. The issue they have is that bomb still on the back of BlameF. Not the most ideal position to have it try and work its way through the Pop Dog. Freiberg throwing his bit of utility in towards B now. Get Right gets tested down in Ivy, and he will get bested down in Ivy. But that's a big kill from Dennis. He's now realized that this was the B fake from Freiberg, and we could look to see the rotations come in on the back of it.
The thing is, I think originally Heroic were trying to get through the CT spawn to wrap B with 2, but now they've only got one player left up in those halls. They're still going to go for it, wrapping all the way round, but Lekro's here with the AWP and a great line of sight to find one. They realize the second's in position, and Dennis catches him off guard. Now the bomb coming out ramp, but they would have loved to have a teammate side by side. That's why Dennis's early push completely turned this one upside down, and now Mertz has got to save 8 seconds on the clock. And they're already encroaching on his position. His back's turned. Forrest finds a frag. So, yeah, the game plan for Heroic wasn't even necessarily the ace split. That was maybe in the back pocket if they wanted to drop down Pop and go for it late round. But Dennis getting the 1 kill on ramp really shut down the possibility of that B push with the bomb.
And I mean, as you said, this has been a game of T sides, so you feel like whoever takes this next one going to be quite the advantage, especially if it is NiP, right, where you can just kind of fall back into having Forrest and Rez open things up. We've started to see Lekro and Dennis find their footing a bit more as well. Fast play into Pop Dog, and they beat Rez on the timing. BlameF continuing to waltz on in. Dennis does what he can, but it's Get Right to help him out. Shots being exchanged, but no one finding anything just yet. Mertz is very quick indeed. He will get caught dropping down by Dennis. And Get Right on this wrap. Now, this does leave Dennis open to get 1v1 from Freiberg.
But look at the reposition from him. He runs right into the connector. Wants nothing to do with that engagement and just completely disappears from the site. Freiberg is going to waste so much time looking for him when he should be going for the bomb. And all this time just allows Get Right to push up further if he so chooses.
Yeah, the issue is that this can somewhat play into Freiberg's favor if he catches the timing onto Dennis. They're just going to miss one another. Oh, they both... No, Dennis saw. Dennis must have seen, and yes, he has. Dennis sees all. 17 to 16 at the end of the first half of overtime. NiP able to salvage a 2-1 half there. Let's not forget, you can see the scoreline 17-16. 19 is the magic number we are looking for in OT.
And 2 rounds on the T side, Harry, that's not undoable. In fact, that pales in comparison to the 9-round T side that NiP had in regulation, especially considering they didn't win pistol, but they did win that force by conversion at least once, only to lose again. And I think that's a big reason why we're going to see NiP succeed here in overtime, the back and forth start. That, of course, did put Heroic's money in such a state. NiP, fast Ivy control. Get Right gets tagged by the AWP, and smoke and nades go down. Keeping these Ts out of position. It's been a long while since NiP have been on the T side, so I have to try and make sure that everything's still fresh. Forrest gets naded. And great utility damage from Heroic so far. They've really whittled down a couple of these key players for NiP. We even had this double setup on B as well. If Dennis peeks into this, it's very favorable for Heroic, who can just swing wide off the back of Mertz's contact. Seems like NiP want to go for this late round B setup with Get Right lurking Ivy, considering he's so low. He doesn't want to be a point man into the bomb site. Could also try and sell the fake here, and that is the other intention of Get Right. Keeps Freiberg in this position and allows for his teammates to focus on this B rush.
Heroic seem very wise to this fact that they've started to pull players around for the rotation already, and NiP are getting picked apart. Just 3 players remain. Lekro's up close and anticipates that he's done enough to get rid of Mertz. You've still got Stown up on the rafters as well, just to really throw even more chaos their way. And it is only Forest remaining, a 1v4. He's got the bomb, but no time. And there's Stown with the peak from the rafters, 17-17. Heroic needs to go flawless on this CT side, and that's one step in the right direction.
Yeah, great read from them as well, right? It helps with the added control they had on the CT side. We saw a similar round where NiP had as much, if not more, information on their CT side and didn't go for the B rotate and actually lost the round as a result. But Heroic there, they take T-Con, they take Pop Dog, they get the info down Ivy that there's only one player, and then they just rotate heavy to B with 3. That push from Stown as well really makes things difficult for NiP, because despite them being on the B-bomb site, they had to not only focus towards the connector and CT spawn, but also their own flank. That's typically not a problem until after you've got the bomb down, but NiP stuck between a rock and a hard place, 17-17. All on this round. If you win it, you at least guarantee there's another overtime at bare minimum. You lose it, well, then your back's up against the wall, and we could see map 3 or a 2-0 victory for NiP.
Looking like they wanted to try and change the pace in this round, did NiP, but early Molly holds them back. Mertz allowed to take up a position here on top of the green train to try and catch this player on the cross. Smoke's now going to rein in, but Mertz is already up and above them, and actually he's going to go aggressive. He takes a very proactive stance in trying to hold off main, does Mertz, but Forest does best in blame F. Good for one. Freiberg rearing his head and actually going to get the double. Forest once again asked to try and clutch in the 1v3. Bomb retrieved at the bare minimum, and he's going to duck out of the A bomb site, run for the hills, and now look to try and hit B. If he goes in quickly, he will get a vacant bomb site all to himself. So he gets the bomb plant, been given some time to take up a position as well, and it just becomes a question now of how does he want to play this? Does he want to stay in the bomb site to try and take these early engagements, try and whittle away this Heroic retake before it even comes through? He will reposition up into the heavens. Forest spots the first man, down goes Stown, and the ball is well and truly rolling now. Tap on the bomb, Forest is on it, and actually, they're not holding for the ramp peak. Forest in with another, and now it is just Blame F remaining, and he's able to land it. Hop it on the defuse, and there's going to be enough time for it. Heroic going to reach map point, 18-17, looking to try and lock in a third as they pull off the 3v1 retake by the skin of their teeth.
Oh, nice try there from Forest. You could see after he got that first shot to Mertz, completely sold Heroic. They set up only focusing on the heaven position rather than ramp. And he had ample time to rotate round to take down Freiberg on that defuse. That being said, still a 1 round by the captain of Heroic. And they sit with a lead here as we head into what could be the last round of this map, or the start of many more. Double AWP for NiP. It's Dennis and Rez to pull them up. Now we've had 4 players for NiP run the AWP in this game. 5 run snipers if you include Get Right on that auto. And what a start with it. Dennis opens up towards B, dropping the AWP for the CT side in the halls. And NiP set a man up.
It's down trying to set up, take up Mertz's position here outside of the B bomb site just to keep tabs on this aggression. S-tag. Gonna get spotted. The nade doesn't really find all too much. NiP sitting 5v4 in the last round of this first overtime. Staring down the barrel of a third map. Stown's able to get across. And that's a lot of information on his presence alone. That's facilitated this rotation of Blame F back into the A bomb site. So 3 players stacked up here for Heroic. NiP will be walking into the stacked bomb site if they continue. It just becomes a question of now, can they spot this information that Stown is getting? Can he become a liability for Heroic, or will he just continue to be the advantage man? He has gained so much info from this S-tag. Despite being fully flashed, still able to pluck Lecro from the ranks, and now he's fully cleared B. Heroic have a very clear picture of what's going on here, and this is looking like we could head through to a third map.
Oh, especially with that bomb being dropped back. They're not even going to be able to retrieve it. Freiberg's found another. Rez has got to save the day, but with only one, it leaves it on the shoulders of Forest. 20 seconds and no chance. Heroic will pick up map number 2, overtime, and a win, 19-17. What a comeback from these guys. They went down 9-6 on that